Happy Saturday, friends. As you guys can see, I'm kicking off the day looking super fresh and fabulous. It's just one of those mornings where you wake up and everything's a little disheveled, more so than usual. My eyelashes are doing something funky because I was wearing lashes the day before. I decided today would be a good day to practice my wig skills, and I wanted to attempt to put a wig on properly. This is me just sticking on the wig cap. I'm just trying to get all my hair up in there. It's so much easier now that my hair is so short. It is like night and day to what it was before trying to wear wigs with my long hair and my hair so thick. And so, anyways, we're looking awesome, and we're gonna go in with the Got to Be Glued. This stuff is insane, you guys. I've only ever used it one other time, and it was definitely an experience. And so, anyways, I'm just throwing the wig on and just trying to place it the best I can. This is my first time like properly applying a wig for the most part. You know, I kind of half-assed it at some points. I didn't apply the back as well as I think most people would if they were actually applying a wig. But anyways, you can see me gluing the wig on. I'm just putting it along the hairline. And something I realized after I wore the wig for a little while like this is that I probably should have glued the hairline a little bit further back on my forehead, as I glued it quite far down. And I was just trying to avoid my hairline because, like I said, this Got to Be Glued is an intense adhesive, and I pulled out a little bit of hair last time. And so just trying to avoid that this time. But yeah, as you guys can see, there's really no way to avoid it along the side of my face and the sideburn area. I had kind of a hard time to blend my sideburns in, but I figured I would work with it at the end and just kind of do with it what I could for now. As you guys can see, when I pulled my hair back, I could really tell that area wasn't like looking very natural. And so I just pulled out those little pieces, and we're gonna get down to it. We're gonna start the makeup and get rid of that eye, whatever it was, the buildup of lash glue, and go in with foundation. And for my foundation, I'm using the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation in 2WO, and I'm combining it with the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation in Mont Blanc. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but the other name for it is Light 2. And as always, I'm using my Morphe M439 to blend it all out. To highlight, I'm using a new product. It's the RCMA. This is the Illuminating Stick in Champagne. It is gorgeous. As you guys could see my reaction, that was my first time applying it to my face, and I was just like, yes, everything about this is just stunning. It blends effortlessly, and it was a really beautiful product to work with. And so I applied it to the bridge of my nose, which I don't normally do with a product like this either, because usually they're hard to blend, but this one, it worked, and so I loved it. And to conceal my under eyes, I'm using the CoverGirl True Blend Concealer in Classic Ivory. I use this concealer a lot and I absolutely love it. And then I wanted to lighten it up a bit, and so I went in with a little bit of the MAC Cosmetics Studio Fix Concealer in NC10. As you guys can see, I'm just blending that all out and using my Suva Beauty 180, which is like my holy grail brush. If there's a brush that I recommend to you guys, it is this one. It is incredible. And to avoid using too much product on the eyelids, I just like to go in and use the product from below. I am saying a quick hello to the post lady. She saw me through the window. And now I'm just gonna brighten up the center of my forehead and blend that all out. I love how this contrast looked right off the bat. I loved how bright the center of my face was, and thought that it was gonna make for a really beautiful contrast once I stuck in that contour. Little dance break here, and it's on to the contour. For the contour, I'm using the RCMA Highlight and Contour Palette in Light. This was my first time using this palette, and I was really excited because I love a good cream contour. And so I am using my Morphe M439, no, sorry, M504. I can't tell you guys how often I mess up those two. But anyways, I'm now going in with the Real Techniques. This is the sculpting brush, and I'm just pushing that product into the face. I'm trying not to move it around too much. I really want it to stay situated where it's at. And then I'm going in and contouring my jawline, which is one of my favorite things, but it can be a little bit challenging to get it to look natural. And so I like to look at it from different angles and just make sure it's really nice and blended. Now for the application on my forehead. I kind of struggled here and I just blended it out the best that I could and figured that I would see how everything came together as I applied the nose contour and everything else, because sometimes things can look funky, but it can all come together in the end. Speaking of funky, I don't usually use cream contour on my nose. I find that it can usually look really unnatural. However, this product was looking really natural and blending beautifully. I used two different brushes for my nose contour. I was using the Morphe M504 and then I moved on to the Morphe R39 just to give it more of a chiseled effect, and it came out really beautifully. I was proud of this nose contour. Now it's time to set that T-zone, and to do so, I'm going to be using the RCMA, the original no color powder. I have seen every influencer use this powder, and I had never tried it, and so when they sent it my way, I was thrilled because I've always wanted to give it a go, and I was really happy with how it performed. Moving on to a brow transformation, I'm using the Quo. This is the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in the shade Ash. I love this pencil and think it is so much bang for your buck. So if you guys are looking for a good drugstore brow pencil, this is your gal. And I am just quickly going in and kind of creating the shape of my brow and filling in the tail end. I fill in my brows this way every single time I do them, and I very rarely use a pomade on the tail end of my brows anymore. I mostly opt for the pencil. I will compare my brows multiple times through filling them out just to make sure that everything is really nice and cohesive and the same on both sides. And then I move into filling in the fronts, and for this I use a brow pomade. I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow in Ash Brown and my Sigma E6. And then I'm going to go in and just kind of carve out the bottom of my brow using my Sigma E15 and a little bit of that MAC Studio Fix Concealer in NC10. I don't always carve out my bottom of my brow, but when I do, I realize what a big difference it can make. It really helps to kind of define between my eyeshadow as well as my brows, and it just brightens everything up and gives me a little bit of a lift, and I really love it. And now we're going to add some color to those cheeks, and for that I'm using the RCMA, the Cream Blush Palette #1, and I'm using a combination of a few different colors just to create the perfect pink that kind of matches the wig that I'm wearing. I wasn't entirely sure what lip I was going to wear with this look, and so I thought keeping my blush the same color as my hair was going to be a safe bet. I was noticing a little bit of blotchiness in my contour, and so to try and even it out, I just thought I'd layer a little bit of bronzer on top, and so for that I used the Haus Labs Heat Spell Bronzer in Desert, and then I go in with my holy grail, the Benefit Hoola Light on the Morphe M504, just as my transition in my crease. You guys will notice that I use this one a lot. I think it is the perfect transition, as well as it works really, really beautifully for my nose contour. I find that it's just the best base for almost everything when it comes to my contour and, anytime I'm adding a little bit of depth. And now it's time for lashes. I was just trying to decide what kind of lashes I was going to go with, and I kind of fiddled around with this, but I decided to just pull them off and go in with some liner first. For my eyeliner, I am using Haus Labs eyeliner in Punk. This is my go-to. I use it all the time and really, really love it. I find that if I line my top of my lash line before I go in with my lashes, it always looks so much more natural, despite the fact that my lashes usually aren't the most natural looking lashes. But this just helps to create a much more seamless blend between my natural lash and the falsies. And now we're back to the lash shuffle. I am trying to pick which style of lash is gonna be the best for this look. And so I'll go in between looking at myself in the mirror and looking in the monitor and just kind of make a choice on what looks best. And I apologize because the style that I picked, I don't actually know what the style name is. I do know that it is the Lotus Lash brand, but I don't actually know what style I am wearing in this video. I just kind of grabbed it from a pile of other lashes that I have sitting on the side of my desk. I'm honestly the worst at putting my lashes back in the boxes. I tend to take them off all over the house and then I never know what style is what. And to blend everything even further, I'm applying a little bit of eyeliner into the waterline of the top of my lash line, and then following that up with the Marc Jacobs At Lashed mascara in Black Cure. It's beautiful. And now we're going to move on to finishing off that lower lash line. And for that, I'm using Fenty Beauty Snap Shadows. This is the palette number 6. I'm using the shade Chestnuts, and I'm going in with the Sigma E30 and just applying that kind of more to the center of my lower lash line. I really love how like wide and big it makes my eyes look when I do this. And then I'm just going to quickly blend out any harsh lines using my Sigma E45 to finish that off. To finalize the eyes, I'm going to apply some mascara to the lower lash line, and then we are going to move on to the lipstick. Just as the lashes, we're going to be doing the lipstick shuffle. I always do this with my lipstick shades and trying to pick which color I'm going to go with. It is almost always a struggle to decide, but for this look, I thought I would start off with the Fenty. This is the Stunna lip paint in the shade Censored, and this is such a stunning red. It is such a classic red, and it's really beautiful. However, I wanted to kind of deepen it up, and so I added some of the Too Faced Melted Matte Drop Dead Red, which is also one of my favorites. It's such a beautiful deep, deep red, and the combination of these two made for like just the most beautiful, like, I don't know, it's not a dark red, but it's not like a bright red. It's a perfect Christmas red. Now it's time to tackle my wig, and I decided that I was going to add some loose curls. I thought it'd probably be better for me to take off my hoodie now before I put in some beautiful curls and fucked them all up, and so I just pulled off my sweater and I'm just pulling back some of my hair and sectioning it off so it makes it easier to go through and curl all the different layers. I didn't cut these parts down, and I kept it in real time just so you guys could see how long I was keeping those curls on. I keep them on for a very short amount of time. I do have this curling wand up at its like highest level. I think it's at 450, which is probably not recommended, but you know, that's just how we roll. And I just wanted to create these really beautiful, like kind of more loose curls. I didn't want anything super tight, and so I just continue the process as I work my way up and just continue to keep sectioning off my hair and just curling it as I go. It's been quite some time since I've been able to do this to my hair. Ever since cutting it short, it's been really difficult for me to go through and add any curls to my hair as it is currently cut. And so the wigs have been a lot of fun to just kind of get to be able to step back into that styling and to play around with different looks and stuff like that. And so I've really been enjoying just playing around with them, and I think they're great. And having the knowledge of how to apply a wig and how to make it look natural is something that I really want to tackle in 2021. And I want to be like the next Moira. I want to have all these different versions of myself. And if you don't know who Moira is, she's from Schitt's Creek, and I am just living vicariously through her character in my wig life. And so I hope this inspires some of you guys to play around with your look as well, because it's just been so much fun. Now, you guys may have noticed that I have sped up the hair process a little bit. It starts to get pretty repetitive to watch me curl my hair. I am just curling it all in the same direction, and the only thing that kind of changes as I get to the top and to the front of my bang is I am doing a bigger section, as you guys can see right here. I like to have like a bigger swoop to my bang, and I find that if I curl the section too small, I don't quite get that framing of the face that I like. And so that's the only kind of difference is around the face. I like to keep the pieces a little bit bigger as well as not curl them too much. And I am pooped. I forgot how much work it was to style long hair, and so I'm just trying to kind of speed through the rest of this. I'm giving a little bit of a tease to the root area of my wig and just trying to make it look as natural as possible. I really struggle with making wigs look natural, and so I was really happy with how everything was starting to look with this one, and decided to kind of fill in that root area a little bit just to help to balance out my brows. I found that the contrast of my brows and the pink wig, it just kind of felt a little unnatural to me, and so I wanted to add just a little bit of depth at that root area to give it more of a natural look. Finalize this transformation, I have switched it up and I'm wearing this super cute sheer bodysuit from Nasty Gal. I'll leave everything linked down below in regards to the jewelry and the outfit and the wig and all the good stuff. And voila, we are transformed into our new version of ourselves. I believe we are calling her Trixie. Justin and I both agreed that this wig just needed a fun name, and Trixie it was. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today, and make sure you guys leave a like on this, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on my new uploads. See you in the next one.